So I thought I'd film this video a little bit off the cuff, just, you know, a thought I had and was trying to think about. So how to improve your marketing, what you have to do, especially if you're a business that's trying to post content or run ads, those kind of things. So to start with, you need to understand your audience, the people you're trying to speak to. So who's your customer? Who exactly is it that you're looking to target? Is it people that are online? Is it people that are mainly offline? You know, what's the kind of thing you're trying to do? Now, chances are, if you're trying to target people through ads and content, they're going to be people that are online already, people that are trying to post content or, you know, make adverts, those kind of things. So to break it down, you need to understand the audience. So how do we do that? So there's many different ways. You can, you know, watch creators if you're trying to go after influencers or creators, people in maybe the fitness space or something like that. But if you're looking to kind of get to a different sort of audience, so maybe more businesses, more companies, rather than individual sole traders or people who are online for doing fitness coaching and that kind of thing, then a great way to do it is to email these people, call these people, and try get on a video call with them. Now, this was a technique that I learned from Charlie Morgan inside of one of his free program things. And when you join, he says that you should make a free community and put these type of ICP, these customers higher, in that group. And so when you put them in there, you put, you know, questions about the niche, and then you hop onto a few video calls with them and try and talk to them and do all these different things to understand the market really well. Now, the more businesses you do this with, the more video calls you hop onto and the more people you speak to, the better that your result will be, because you're obviously speaking to more people. You get a better idea of the market as a whole, rather than just one company, one business that you're speaking to. So understanding your ICP and your audience is really important, because then that allows you to create an offer. And then creating your offer is probably one of the most important parts about it all, because you get to speak to your audience, you get to speak to your ICP, people you're trying to speak to directly through ads, through content, or whatever it is you're trying to do at the moment, because you get to speak about their pain points. And you get to make an offer that really appeals to them. Maybe use a few keywords that only that industry uses, and those kind of things. I know these seem like really small things, but trust me, if you're a business doing upwards of 10k per month, upwards of 20k per month, if you implement these things in and you put them and make sure they're actually there, you actually have a good understanding. You know, you have a really well-rounded knowledge of your market, the way that your market operates, the way they think, the things they do. That's how you level up and get better through your messaging, through your offer, and all those kind of ideas. So the messaging is the next important part, and that's all about speaking directly to the people you're looking to speak to, directly to your ICP. So once again, how do we do that? Well, it all comes back to the offer. Now, the offer is a way of messaging. It's a way of getting your message, your kind of idea, your brand identity across to someone. So once again, it's all about understanding keywords and knowing the market. And this is all like the audience section. So there's going to be another section a little bit later on the actual ad side of things. But when it comes to your audience and the offer, understanding who they are, what they're looking for, and then applying that into a real situation. So giving them an actual outcome, something they can hold on to, and something they, you know, whether it's a guarantee or you don't pay thing, or we'll work with you until we achieve X result, using keywords, using terminology. But marketing isn't the thing of having the, you know, the most edited ad, or having the most highly qualified picture, high definition picture, sorry. It's all about having these little things that stack up, but understanding your audience, getting the message across to them with their keywords, with their knowledge, their terminology is so much more important than having a fancy video, having, you know, the best photo or the best ad. Because the best ad for your niche, for your kind of ICP, could just be you speaking to your iPhone, because that's what's more suited to them. Maybe they see that as more authentic, or that comes across in a better way. right? So everyone that says marketing is all about having the best video, the highest definition image. Now these things can definitely help once you're at a certain level and you want to establish yourself even more. These things really can help if you have a good edited ad or a good high definition image. I'm not saying they don't help, but when it comes to that, or having a really good understanding of your audience, of your market, who you're trying to target, go for the latter every single time. You need to know who you're speaking to and why you're speaking to them. What's the real problem that you're solving? And how are you actually going to solve it for them? As long as you know those two things, then you can understand your audience a lot better, craft a lot better image and a message to them, getting your point across. So then we go on to running ads. So we understand our audience, we know exactly who it is we're trying to speak to, we know how to craft an offer around it, give them all the risk reversal or give them money back guarantee, that kind of thing. So now how do we actually make ads or just organic content generally that speaks to them? So you need to have an authority figure. So maybe that's yourself, maybe that's someone inside of your company if you're a bit of a larger company. And you position these people as one of the top experts in the space. And you do that by addressing people's pain points. You make them relatable. You don't make someone an authoritative figure or someone who appears to be a really authoritative figure by using terminology that no one knows. Because then they just think, well, this isn't relatable, this isn't something I want to be a part of, whether that's working with your company or buying your program or anything like that. So when we're looking at building an authoritative figure, whether that is through organic content, whether that is through ads, it's really key to make it relatable and not be of a too high level. So if you know all these fancy terms that probably most of your market doesn't know, don't use them. They're not relatable. People won't think, yeah, this is someone I can see myself working with. They'll think, well, he's obviously working with completely different people to me when we're trying to target that ICP. So always speak at the level of your ICP, speak at the way you're trying to target ICP. Now maybe all of these fancy terms, that's what your ICP uses. In that case, great. But when you're trying to target maybe beginners or someone who's a little bit intermediate and getting better, growing their skills and trying to adapt that way, that's when you need to understand exactly who you're speaking to. Once again, it comes back to the whole audience idea and who is your target audience, who you're trying to speak to. So always bear that in mind. So now when we're running ads, you can target people based on the audience, based on their interest, their demographic, their age, their location, especially if you're a local business, like someone maybe who's a barber or someone who has a local business. Maybe it's a food shop, a meat shop or whatever. And so when you do that, targeting by location is really important. But when we're in the Meta platform, we're trying to run Facebook and Instagram ads, it's really important to not just target by the locations we want. It's as equally as important to target by the locations we don't want. So when we're in the Meta platform and we draw that radius around a certain area and we want to target those locations specifically, go outside of those locations you want to target, draw a ring around them, and then select the exclude option to make sure that we're not targeting those areas. Because sometimes Meta will target those areas as a test to see what's going on. And so when we exclude these areas, it definitely won't go there. So we're not going to get any bad leads or any bad results from those particular ads. So running ads, have a good offer and then have good copy. Now, whether you're trying to use AI or any of these more modern methods to, do your copywriting for you or any other methods for you, it's totally up to you which one you want to use and which way you want to go. But having the good copy, having good understanding of what your ad creative should be, having the messaging that speaks directly to your ICP, to your audience around that, and making sure that it does target those people, speak to them directly, is the most important thing. Now, one of the biggest things and a top tip that I would say is when you're running an ad creative, especially if it's a video, you call out your ICP straight away. So, calling all fitness coaches or calling all IT support companies or whatever. So when you're there and you have a speaking ad, you've got someone saying stuff, make sure to call up that ICP, that business owner first, because that then gets their attention. And anyone else that isn't those will probably scroll past, and they're not going to become a lead because they're not the people we're looking to work with. But if you want me to do like a more in-depth thing on how to run ads, or how to find your ICP, how to actually pick what niche you want to be in, or how you want to discover these things, then just let me know. I'll be more than happy to make those for you. But this was just an off-the-cuff video, an idea that, you know, improving your marketing is not about having fancy ads or any of these things. It could just be a walking video speaking about the right things to the right people, with the right pain points, with the right offer. And that's what it all comes down to. Now, I get asked a lot when I was on video calls, and I ask people what their ad budget is and what they'd be willing to spend every single day on Meta ads. Well, they ask me, what would you say? Because you're in marketing, so what would you say is a good amount per day? Now, I'd recommend, if we're trying to really push and scale, we can't have, you hear a lot of $10 to $15 or £10 to £15 a day. But if we're looking to really scale and, you know, get these results and let Meta test and let the company test as quickly as possible to get the best results as quickly as possible, then we're probably looking at a round of upwards of $50, £50 per day. When it comes to ads, there are also nurturing videos you can do, so you can get people to go, you know, from one video to the next video to the next video. So you retarget people that have already shown interest, maybe clicked onto it, then click back off it again. But when you're properly trying to do ads and then the retargeting idea, you have to already have a big sample size. So you have to already run an ad, collected a lot of data from a lot of people, and then retarget to the people that have shown interest, and to show them different pieces of your content. The idea is just to build trust, to show that, you know, you've worked with people in the past, or you've done something abnormal from most companies in the same industry as you, just to separate yourself from the market and once again build authority. That's been kind of it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to take it one step at a time.